trying to figure out who's going to be your two deep at end?
You know what? There's no such thing. I'll take that headache all day long. It's better than the bad headache, not figuring out who we don't have anybody and we got to find somebody to play. So having an abundance of guys that we feel can make plays is exciting.
Do you feel what you saw, like, is it validation, recruiting the transfers that you recruited and now seeing them throughout six practices, playing at the level that you expect them to, or is it really just too early to make the determination?
Well, we got a long way to go now. You know, we're not going to anoint anybody or pat ourselves on the back. We're not even halfway through spring ball, but we certainly, I certainly felt like we took a step in the right direction today. And as we told these guys after the scrimmage, it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. Even though we brought these guys in, and you see teams, you know, start to add transfers and win games in year one, and that's certainly feasible. But in order for us to do that, we've got to be able to accomplish our goals throughout the spring before we even get into fall camp.
Charlie Dario's been extremely impressive. What have you thought about his performance so far?
Well, you know, that's why I brought him here. You know, as I was just saying, he's a super senior. He's a very dialed-in young man. His consistency and how he approaches the game. You know, it's those guys are really, the specialists are really like, they're skilled guys, obviously, but it is there's a lot of mental to that. You know, they certainly have some physical tools, but there's a big mental piece, and we spend a lot of time working on that. And he's a guy that's been through it, taken live reps, played in games, and I would expect for him to come out here and do what he's done. And I'm super pleased with where he's at.
Any sort of feel for your returner situation at this point?
We're getting there. I don't want to say just yet. You know, give me another week, and this time next week I can talk a little bit more about that. But we've certainly narrowed it down, and we've certainly got some guys in the mix. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. That's a veteran move right there. You know, we still got enough guys that I don't want to say, hey, we got one or two that we're super high on. We got a small handful that we like right now where we're at.
What you thought about just the capability though?
Yeah, you know, and as I was just telling Coach Dillingham, why I'm so excited and why I always thought Arizona State is a great place to coach is because you do get elite level skill players. And I think if you look at our secondary and you look at our guys on the offensive side of the ball, we've got some talent in the skill areas. And so it's exciting when you coach special teams because you should be able to do some things with that.
We've seen a guy from like BJ Green, you know, making that move, you know, from inside now he's attacking from the outside. Looks like he did a number of good plays today as well.
Yeah, I think when you talk about BJ, the first thing that pops in your mind as a coach is versatility. You know, the ability to be outside, like you said, and then line up inside. You know, that gives teams problems, and it allows us the ability to put our best pass rushers in play and give us some matchup problems. So, you know, having BJ and having that ability is obviously another plus for us at the defensive line.
I've seen those edges kind of, you know, really take to a defensive scheme that really, you know, is built around aggression and attacking.
They're getting there. I think we made a good step today in that process. But again, it's part of understanding the process and where we're trying to get a big picture. We certainly made a positive step today.
What does moving practice over at the stadium for a day? What does that do?
Oh man, you know what? I try to tell these guys, and we talked about it. You know, it shouldn't matter. You know, it's the focus about it. Really, when you think big picture and you talk about it, football really shouldn't matter whoever you're playing each week. It's really about what I can go out and do. And Coach Ward talks about all the time on defense, doing your 111th. You know, and if you get outside of that picture, it's usually when you don't make plays. When you do your job, it's really when you make plays. And it's funny how that works. And I think sometimes guys put more on, hey, I'm in the stadium. My mom and dad are here watching in the stands and all that takes away from what is my 111th. And so the more we come in here and get these opportunities and are able to coach and teach off of that, the better we're going to get.
But there's some extra juice when you practice in the stadium, especially so many new faces.
Well, as I told those guys, there's always going to be juice when you play a game or you come practice in the stadium. But that's that adrenaline rush, as I said. If I could bottle it up, I'd have been retired because I'd be able to sell it to everybody, right? That's the running out of the tunnel, right? But it's like Mike Tyson says, you know, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. It doesn't matter, right? When you get in between the white lines and that ball gets kicked off and you start playing, the focus has to be on what is my job. And really the opponent should be faceless, nameless. You know, it shouldn't really matter. It's just about what can I do and how high a level can I play to execute in my job responsibilities.
2 weeks down, 3 to go. Is this team kind of, in the general sense, you know, trending to where you want to be in terms of where you should be at this point? What do you guys want to do?
Well, I think we're making progress for sure. You know what I mean? It's a long way to practice 15. And, you know, really it's now, hey, let these guys get a couple days of downtime, come back, let's make the corrections on Monday, and then let's get ready for practice 7. You know, we're not even halfway to the end, and so. But I told him, love you too. But I told him at the end of the day, man, it has to be about getting better each and every practice. So there's a lot for us to clean up and get better on, but we're certainly pleased with how we played at times today.
I know coaching in Arizona State, a long time dream. I know you haven't coached in a game, but so far in practices, is everything it's cooked up to be?
Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I look around every once in a while. I'm like, it's great to be home, man. So yeah, it's awesome to be here, and it's awesome to be practicing in Sun Devil Stadium. So I preach that. I got to live that too. I got to stay focused, but it's pretty cool.